Welcome to this guide to look at milk producing animals and their products with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video we're going to be looking at milk. We're going to be looking at milking, the animals that produce milk and the products we can make using said milk. This is not a guide to cows. It's not a guide to cows because one, I did a video on the build mode looking at animal pens. I looked at all the stuff in the build mode. I've done a live stream on animals the day the game released, which covered all sorts of aspects, looking at buying the young animals, the mid-range animals, and the breeding age animals. So it's not specifically cows because we've got other animals now base game that produce milk. We've got water buffalo and we've got goats. So we're looking at milking more specifically today. So what I've done, I've already set up some pens. We'll have a quick look at pens. We'll have a quick look at, this is not a guide to the customizable, buildable animal pens and pastures, but there's a couple of things to be aware of. This is my second time of recording this, and complete transparency, yesterday when I was prepping to record this, and I had every intention of recording this yesterday evening, I had 5 game crashes in half an hour. I don't know why, I don't know what caused it. I've come back on this morning and I haven't had one. That's not to say I won't have one, but I haven't had one yet. We'll stick with yet. I've got a pen over there that's got water buffalo in. I've got a pen here with Holsteins, and I've got a pen there with brown Swiss. Over the back I've got a pen with goats. I've put 40 of each animal in, and they're all the ones of age to produce milk. So like I said, this is not looking at young and breeding and rearing. We're not looking at the meat breeds, we're just looking at the milk stuff. I put 40 of each in because we should get enough milk each month. I'm set on 1 day months just again to make life simpler. I've already put feed in, but we'll look at the feed situation. We'll talk about that very quickly as well before we move on. I've also put in, I've got a couple of dairies and I've got a bakery. Now again, if you watch the live stream you'll understand why I've put the bakery in. You might have not seen the entire live stream, so you might not have caught it, because there's something very different as well on 25. The thing as well, I think I did a video yesterday on greenhouses. I think people seem to have the impression, well, yes, greenhouses, we know about those, but there are some differences between 22 and 25. Some of them very, very important that you really need to know about. Some a little bit more subtle. The buildings and stuff really stand out. I really do like the new stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. And having water buffalo as well is very, very cool. Now you can mix them. I can put water buffalo, I can put brown Swiss, and I can put Holsteins all in the same pen if I want to. I just separated them out for ease because I also wanted to look at, do any of them produce more milk per month than any of the others? Holsteins are renowned for being their dairy cows. Are they going to produce more milk than the brown Swiss? Are they going to produce more milk than the water buffalo? Now the water buffalo milk is a separate type of milk for use, and it's used for separate types of things. So we're doing a bit of testing, we're doing a bit of checking. It might be they all come out exactly the same, and if they do, that's absolutely fine. But again, I keep saying this on videos, we can't take anything for granted. We can't assume, we shouldn't assume. So let's have a look into our pens and pastures and things. We go into our build mode, we go to our animals, and we start with cows. Now another reason why this is my second time recording this, one of the things I was going to talk to you guys about and say be careful of, I did it myself. It was brilliant, very clever. You've got your pastures in each, so if we go across, like, we're not looking at horses, pigs, but sheep is where you get your goats. So whilst it says sheep, I had someone messaging me the other day saying I can't find the one for goats. Your sheep pastures are where you can put your goats in. So it's sheep and goats together. To be fair, that should really say sheep goats, sheep/goats, whatever. Because if you're new to the game, that's a little bit misleading, because you do go through and you think, well, okay, where are they? Then to be fair, there's not a separate one for water buffalo either. It just says cows. So I guess, again, there's just something to be aware of. So we have got our buildable pastures. Now, there's an important note here. And it says on the notes down the bottom where it says cow pasture, attention, this is a breeding barn, therefore milk production is not possible. The pasture of this building can be customised. We'll have a quick look at one of the ones. This next one over says the same thing. That's a breeding barn. This one here, the same thing. It's a breeding barn. So if you're doing your beef animals, if you're doing your limousines, why have I blanked on the other one? We'll see in a moment. Then those are the ones you want. You're not going to get milk from those. I placed 3 of those ones, the 170,000 ones. I went to speed up time and so I thought, hang on a minute. Yeah, so this one here and these 2 here are your ones that you're going to want for. Now, pretty much all of them now say you can customize a pasture. So, for example, this one here says it will hold 50 cows. And it does give you an option when I go to place it. Do you want to customize the fence for the cow barn? And most of the pens do this now. So I can customize it. And this is just in case you haven't seen it. So if I come from that post there and I come out, I can now make my pen, I mean, all sorts of sizes. If you want to put this at the edge of the field and follow the outskirts of a field, if you want to make it a bigger rectangle, if you want to make it hexagonal, if you want to, you can do it any way you want. It's entirely up to you. The bigger you make your pen, whilst it says it takes 50 animals, that's if you use the base configuration, the bigger you make the pen, the more animals it will hold. So for example, if I just make this one, I mean it's difficult because you don't know until you've placed them how many it's going to hold, so it's one of those things of, it's a bit of trial and error, and I would say, as I always say, save your game. If I come back to the green post, click on that. Now, it then gives you the option, do you want to put the meadow in for the cow barn? Now, this is that grazing thing that Giants talked about and pushed quite heavily. So I'm going to say yes, we're going to put the grazing meadow in. So the grazing meadow is now in, which is okay to a degree. What we're going to do is come out, and I'm going to jump across to that one. So I've put this one over here. So that one originally said 50. So we're going to visit. And, oh yeah, we're on the outside, aren't we? So we're in the wrong place. If I click on this now, this says 0 out of 126. So because I've increased the pasture size, it now no longer just takes 50, it will take 126 animals. Now, the other thing to be aware of, if we come into this menu, and we come down to our animals, so those have got stuff in, I want to go across the top. So these are our 3 cow barns, sorry, that one there, water buffalo, that's got our Holsteins in, that one's got our brown Swiss in, that one's got our goats in. This is the new one, which is empty. Now, if you look on the stuff there for feed, it says total capacity and effectiveness, total mixed ration 100%. That's great. They'll reproduce, they'll produce milk at plentiful, it'll be all wonderful. What's interesting is the hay and silage is the same. So if you don't want to do total mixed ration, you've got a load of hay, you've got a load of silage, you can get to 80%, that's fine. Grass and meadow will only get the cows to 40%. With the goats and some of the other ones, I think it might just be goats that does the meadow as well. You can get your sheep and your goats to 100% productivity just using the meadow grass. But once they've eaten the meadow grass, you need to move them or you need to add some other feeding. With cows, they will only get to 40% on the meadow grass. So if you just leave it, they will eat that, that's fine. But they will need something in there to bolster it, or they will need at some point to have something else in, because I'm pretty sure at 40% they don't reproduce either, and your milk production will be low and that kind of thing. It's an interesting one. I don't know why Giants have done that, because the whole point about the grazing thing is if you put your animals out to graze, your animals normally, your cows, even if they're out grazing during the summer months, they would still come in and be milked. Maybe twice a day. Some farms do it 3 times a day. So I don't know why that's happened, but that's something to be aware of. If you are going to let them just graze on the meadow grass, they will only get to 40%. So what I'm going to do is come out there, go into here, press demolish. I'm going to remove the pen because I don't need that one. That's okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to one of the other ones. Let's jump back to our first one just over here. So my plan, got all my doors and windows and stuff open, give them plenty of air. I'm going to skip ahead a month at a time. Like I say, I've put 45,000 litres of total mixed ration in each one. Well, we can go back into this menu and have a look here actually, can't we? Let's go back up, go across. There we go. So our water buffalo, you can see there. Our straw is full. I haven't put any manure heaps in, but if you are going to need, if you want to do manure, you're going to need to put manure heaps in. It doesn't have a place in here for them. Productivity is only on 5% because they've only just started going. Total mixed ration, I made total mixed ration. There are no buy anything silos or anything else yet. You can't buy bales of total mixed ration. That's when we got the Gportal pack. That was a thing that you could it was in the menu, but you can't on here. It's not allowing you to. So total mixed ration, 100%, we're fine. I'm not going to put the other ones in. I'm not going to let them eat the meadow grass. I think the other thing to know about meadow grass is as soon as you put something else in, something above it, So if I put hay in or silage or turtle mix ration, they will eat that first. If that runs out, they will go to the meadow grass. That is also kind of a throwback to the water pumps that were on the FS19 version of Seasons. That if you had a water pump, it didn't fill the things up, but it meant that they would never run out of water, because on that version of Seasons, animals could die. This is not the case in FS25. Animals won't die. It's a weird kind of blend of the two. I'm not sure. With cows, for me, the meadow grassing, it doesn't work how it should, and that should be tweaked and adjusted. My own personal opinion, there's a reason I assume why they've put it at 40%, but that's what it is. And again, we've got the same in here for our Holsteins. Same with our bedding, same with our feed. Then we go on to our brown Swiss, and they're the same. We're going to whiz over and have a look at the goats in just a second. We can have a look here, and but 11,500 is. I've just put grass in, and like I say, their meadow, it will do 100%. So I didn't need to actually put any grass in. They would have eaten the meadow grass, and what it will do once it starts eating the meadow grass, there's a capacity. The larger the pen you build for them, the more meadow grass there is. So if I have a huge meadow, and I've only got 6 goats in there, it will take them a while to get through that meadow grass. The more goats you've got in there, or sheep, the quicker they'll get through that meadow grass. Then you'll need to then give them a supplement or move them into a new pen, new meadow. There's been a lot of talk about whether the meadow grass regrows or not. A few people have done videos saying it doesn't. Somebody the other day messaged me and said it does if you go into the next month. That's going to be a separate test to do. I'm just looking at the milk side of things in this video. So they're at productivity 10%. We're going to skip ahead to next month, and then we're going to check on the 3 cows. And we're going to see whether the milk's the same. But what I want to show you before I move into this one is something cool. I mean, it's a thing. What map was I on? American Falls. When I did my Apocalypse series, and the cows did it, and I thought it was brilliant. Although on here they're kind of slow-mo. I haven't put the feed in this one, so what I'm going to show you is when I put the turtle mix ration in, the cows, some of the cows will run towards the trough to start feeding. It's a slow-mo run. It looks interesting, but I just thought it was a neat feature. What I'm going to do before I move on, I'm going to save the game, because a couple of times when I put feed in or I put bedding in yesterday, that was when I had a game crash. So I just want to make sure I don't have any issues having got to this point that I could potentially have a problem. Okay, so I'll put it in. Right, let's hop the fence, see if anything starts to run. There you go, look. It's a slow run, but once they realise that there's feed being put in, I like that, that's very cool. It's like, oh, feeding time, we're off. I don't know, it's just one of those little features. Look, there's another one. They go, I say bolting off, but kind of stopped a little bit short, to be fair. They haven't got all the way to the rail, but anyway, that was something I thought I'd show you. So all the feed's in, bedding's in. I just put the bedding in. It's that weird thing of it doesn't matter because I'm not doing manure, so I didn't technically need to put the bedding in. But there's always that thing of, for productivity, for them to be as comfortable as possible, in my mind, they need to have bedding. So before I skip ahead the months, the other thing we're going to look at very quickly is the products, the productions. We've already seen down the front there, we've got one of the dairies. If you haven't seen my build mode video, like I said, I did the live stream, did the build mode video, I've done one on contracts, I've done a whole load of different stuff. If we go into this menu here, and we go to our productions, this shows you productions that you own. If we go up to the top and we go across one, that tells you ones that are available on the map. So, bakery, biogas, these are ones that are available on the map. Now, if I go to the bakery, we have a look there. If we go across and go down these recipes, so cakes, it says there on the recipe on this side, on the right hand side, it says 8 times milk bottled, and it's very specific. It says bottled. So I thought, that's interesting. I wonder if you have to do bottled milk, will it take milk from a tanker, or does it really have to be bottled? So I did that on the animals live stream, but I'm going to show you again on here. It needs to be bottled. If we come back up to the top and we go across to own, so these ones I put in, I've got a couple of dairies and I've got a bakery. Now the dairies, you can see now, we've got buffalo milk bottled, we've got buffalo mozzarella, we can make butter from buffalo milk, and we can make butter from goat milk. And I'm not going to do either of those because you don't get separate butter. It's just butter. So, but you can use the different milks for that. So I like the fact you can do that now. Your cheese is still just from cows. It's not or the main cheeses. Then we come down to our goats. We've got goat milk bottled, and we've got goat cheese. We've then also got the milk bottled. So we're going to put a few of these on the productions because I want to get at least a pallet of each of these out. When I did my live stream, I got some milk bottled and I got some goat cheese, but I didn't run everything. It took a lot longer for buffalo mozzarella as well. It might be down to the cycles per month, 480 cycles per month. Maybe I just didn't have enough in there. Our buffalo milk is 144 cycles per month. If we come down to our goat milk, 144 cycles. And the milk bottled from the cows is 480 cycles per month. So you're going to get far more of that quicker than you will the goat milk or the buffalo milk. So I will speed up time because I want to see what each pallet looks like. So those are your ongoing products from your milk production. And again, because we've gone from 22, and again, on 22 we had a lot of mods. By the end of 22, there were a lot of maps, there were a lot of mods that people had bought out that had all different animal types. And yes, we could get milk from different ones. But as far as base game went, it was just the cows. We didn't have buffaloes, we didn't have goat cheese, we didn't have, buffalo milk butter, goat milk butter, we didn't have mozzarella, So I want to have a look at these things. But what I also want to have a look at as well, or show you guys, if we go into our build mode and we go to our factories, and I've shown this a couple of times now in different videos, but it's worth noting, we've got our big factories. And what I've seen so far, when I did my greenhouse one, your big factories will produce, or the recipes are 10 times bigger, or they will run 10 times faster than a smaller one. And when I say a smaller one, these two I've got here, that's a bakery and that's a dairy. These are farm based. They're a smaller production and they're a lot cheaper, but they do run a bit slower. So you've got to weigh that up. The recipes are normally the same, but it's the actual cycles per month that are different. So these are our bigger versions, and there are a few of each in our build mode. We come down further, we get to these, which are 36 grand. So we've got a bakery, carpentry, preserved food factory, dairy, which we're interested in now, grain mill, oil mill, grape processing unit. So a lot cheaper. You can get into these productions. It's going to take longer for them to produce. That's the thing about it. Yes, it's cheaper, but so you've got to weigh up. Do you just want to dip your toe in, have a go? If you're not worried about time, how long it takes, that's great. If you are, you might want to go for a bigger factory, or you might want to start off small and then decide, actually, I'm going to do a bigger version of this. Again, that's in touch with you. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to speed up time. We're going to go ahead a month to August. We'll check and see. My gut instinct is telling me that they're all going to be exactly the same. I can't see why they would be different. It's why I've kept everything the same. When you're doing any kind of, when I was teaching in school, when you're teaching science, you're doing scientific experiments, and you're teaching about, how to do that, you don't want to change multiple parameters. So I've kept 40 in each. The feed is the same in each. The bedding is the same in each. Not that will make any difference. The pens are exactly the same. I haven't done different pens. I didn't go for customizable ones on these. I kept them exactly the same because I was curious to see what would happen. So the only thing that should be different is the cows themselves. That should be the only difference that will be changed. I will see you in August. Let's take this tractor back. It's August. It's raining. This the same thing happened when I was doing my video from greenhouses. It rained for like 3 months straight. But what is cool is you can have a look at the I love this, the detail of the rain on the roads, the water, the puddles. Now I'm sure somebody said there were supposed to be reflections, but that might have ended up only being on PC, because I'm sure somebody put a picture in saying it showed a fantastic image of a reflection in the puddles the Giants put out, but it's not showing it on consoles. And yes, I am wearing Crocs. Still toe cap Crocs, don't worry, all is good. So let's go over. Well, we don't have to necessarily go over, but we can go over. Let's have a look in our menus at our animals. Oh, that was something I was going to say actually about these productions, the ones that we own, when I said about them being 10 times more. If we look at our dairy, for example, the buffalo milk bottled, that says cycles per month 144. It's a 10 to 20 ratio. if I go across and do the smaller dairy and we do the buffalo milk and go across, the cycles per month are 14.4, so 10 times less. The recipe's the same, 10 to 20, it's just less cycles per month, 10 times less. So yeah, you'll notice that when you go through various different things, that on the smaller ones it's pretty much 10 times more or less. Actually, I want to go back to there, didn't I? So let's have a look. What have we got? Our water buffalo productivity is at 100%. Straw's gone down a little bit, not a huge amount. We've got some slurry, very nice indeed. Meadow, you see there, it's saying 6,257. They haven't touched any of that, but it's gone into the next month, so it's now registered what's in that meadow. But they've got total mixed ration. Although, to be fair, they've had a fair chunk of that. I'm going to have to make some more total mixed ration. Buffalo milk, 506 litres. Not a huge amount for 40. I thought we might get a bit more. So we'll speed up time again and we'll have a look. So I'm curious to see now, will our next one, will our Dairy Queens, will the Holsteins be more than 506 litres? Let's go across. Way more. So there you go. It's worth doing the testing. It looks like everything else is pretty much the same with the amount of straw that's been used. Feed, by the look of it. They're at 100% productivity, which is absolutely fantastic. The reproduction, it's going to take a while for all of them, which is absolutely fine. That's a good point, actually. Let me go back to our reproduction on them. Yeah, 10%. I just want to make sure that was the same as well. But milk, 2,531 litres. So our Holsteins, definitely, as far as milk production goes, way more than water buffalo. That being said, though, water buffalo, they are different milks. The water buffalo milk will make different products that the Holstein milk can't make. So if you want to do buffalo mozzarella, you need water buffalo. You know, these may be more productive, but you can't use Holstein milk for making buffalo mozzarella. So there's that. Let's go and have a look at our Swiss. So 2343, 2531. Not a huge difference, but our Holsteins are definitely more productive. And if we look at that as well, if we can jump backwards and forwards, you'll notice as well the Holstein, the brown Swiss have eaten less total mixed ration. Let's go between those and those. So yeah, our water buffalo and our Holsteins have eaten the same amount of food. Holsteins to brown Swiss, less food intake and slightly less milk, but not a huge amount, to be fair. But there is a difference. So that, I mean, at least we know now there is a difference. So the interesting one I want to look at now is this as well. So our goats, 100% productivity. Oh, I didn't put the meadow grass on. I've just suddenly realised. Have they? They're at 100% productivity. They haven't eaten any feed. But we got 693 litres of goat milk. That's curious. I wonder why they haven't eaten any food. Because I say the meadow, when it gives you the option when you build the pen, you can increase the size of the pen. When you've done that, it says, do you want to add the meadow grass? I accidentally clicked no when I put that pen in. So there's no meadow grass in there. So when you go into next month, that would be telling you how much meadow grass is in it. Don't know why they haven't eaten anything. So what we're going to do, I'm going to skip ahead another month. So we've got a little bit more. Actually, I could probably get the cow milk going already because I've not got enough of the buffalo stuff. I thought with 40 water buffalo in there we'd get a fair bit more, but we'll speed up time until we've got a bit more and then we'll get the productions run on each of those. So what I'm going to do now, I haven't got enough goat milk to run anything. I mean, we can start running stuff, but it will run out. Oh, you know what I'm going to do. Let's empty him out. So we can definitely see then there is a difference in the productivity of the animals, which is a good test to find out first. The water buffalo are a lot less than I thought they were going to be. I'm disappointed is the wrong word, but I thought they might be a little bit more productive. So 506 litres. When we skip ahead to the next month, into September, we'll see if it's 506 again. Not that I'm going to remember that number. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jot it down because by the time I get to that point, I'll have forgotten. 506. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Oh yeah, we can do our first test as well. If I bring it over here. Let's put our buffalo milk in. Excellent stuff. In a buffalo stance, as you do. Not buffalo milk. There we go. Let's put our regular milk in. And the good thing is, between these two, I can put this in as well because it's regular milk as well. So we get that. And what I'll do is I'll show you what I mean. So we take this to the bakery now, and I kept referring to this as loose. You know what I mean? And I kept saying in liquid form. Whether it's bottled or not, it's still liquid. But you know what I mean? Unbottled. There we go. So both those in. We'll take it to the bakery. The bakery won't take it as it is. It needs to be bottled for the bakery to take it. That's a big change between 22 and 25. It's a very big change. So at least we can get some of the productions going. If this takes it now, I'm going to look like an absolute buffoon. I've just realised I put the milk into the small one, didn't I? I meant to put it into the large one. I'll put tomorrow's milk in. So if I come over to here, at unload point, you get no trigger come up. So there you go, nothing comes up. I can't unload regular milk into the bakery. It has to be bottled. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it into the large bakery actually. Bakery? Dairy. And the rest of the stuff we can see that the smaller dairy or the smaller productions run at 10 times slower per month, so we know it's going to do it, just is 10 times slower. But I want to get some product out, so let's unload that. We'll go in the front. I don't think I'm going to take the buffalo milk back out of that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come down on here, not on that one, we're on the wrong dairy, that one. Come down to here and we're going to get some milk bottled going. Like I said, I'm not going to make any cheese. I'm not going to make any butter. Cheese and butter we've done on FS22. I haven't got sugar for doing chocolate, but the recipes are all here. It will do them. But we're going to get some mottled milk. We're going to get some mottled milk out. That's quite noisy now. It's running. I'm going to go and get the goat milk. Bring that over here as well. Now what I might do now, like I said, I'm going to skip ahead till September. We'll check it again. I'm assuming the figures are all going to be the same. That's why I want to empty them, because I want to make sure that, you know, we're looking about the same. I mean, if the productivity hadn't reached 100% in a month, what I would be saying now is you're likely to get more milk the next month once they hit 100%. But all of them are 100% productivity. Oh no, this one was different, wasn't it? That was something to show you as well. I need to go and get my loader. Is that the goat milk comes out in these containers, churns, pails, however you refer to them, they come out like that. So I'm going to take that over the 693 litres. And what I want to see when we move into September as well, are they going to eat any of their feed? Because I'm not sure what's going on there. Unless that's a glitch or a bug or something, but they should have eaten something by now. There's nothing showing in the trough. Oh yeah, we've got some in the troughs there, that's right. It's not at the rail, it's in the troughs. Righty-ho! I'm going to go and get a thing for that. I'm going to go back past, I don't think I can take the milk back out, but again, it's part of the sort of testing and have a look. It doesn't hurt to check. The other thing to be aware of with the small productions, and I had this yesterday with the greenhouses, be aware of, the capacities aren't as high on the smaller ones, and it's something I hope gets changed. Scroll up. Right, yeah, so if you look there, buffalo milk, it only takes 1,500 litres. So it's not a huge amount in the production. What was a worry in some of the productions when I did the greenhouses yesterday, they only took 480 litres, some of this stuff, from the greenhouses. When I was making kimchi and stuff like that. If you bought a 1,000 litre pallet over, it took the entire 1,000 litres, but it only showed as the 400 litre maximum. So you lost 520 litres every time you put a pallet in, which I thought was a bit naughty. We're a little bit lucky here because obviously this is in liquid form, so it will unload what it's required. But if you're doing stuff with pallets, just be careful on that. We're lucky on here as well because the goat milk is 2,900 litres. So if I bring over that pallet of goat milk, that's not going to fill that up. I'm not going to lose any. We should be absolutely golden. But I'm going to take it over. Like I said, I don't think it's not going to let me take the milk. Stuff on. It's not going to let me take the milk back out unless I'm very lucky and it comes up with no. Okay. So I'll just have to make sure I take the buffalo milk over to there tomorrow. I'm going to go and get a loader. We're going to take that pallet over our goat milk. We can at least start getting something produced. That's my bad on the mozzarella, on the buffalo milk thing. I could have got a couple of things started already. I shouldn't have put it in there, but that's alright. Okay, I will see you in September. This rain is doing my head in. It's just constant. What is going on? Right, bottled milk. We have got 3. I don't know if there's any more actually. Let's have a look what we're looking at. Milk 3,000. Oh yeah, so we can have a load more come out. The other stuff is still running. So what I might do is I'm not going to put any more normal milk in because we can see that we've got that. If we go to our dairy, we go down to our bottled milk. Let's turn it off so we don't get more produced because we've got another 3 pallets are going to come out when we do those. How are we looking on these? We've got a little bit being produced, which is fine. Yeah, goat cheese 915 litres because the recipes are 3 to 6. We're doubling it. So with what we put in there, actually that should have, that's curious. Do we put 600 and something litres in there? So if that's supposed to double, that should have been 1,200, shouldn't it? Oh no, because I split it between goat milk bottle, didn't I? So I'd say that's actually gone quite a long way. If we come back over there and we go to our goat milk, a 10 to 20, so that's doubling it. So actually the recipes for those are pretty good. But what we want to check on now, there's some questions I need to answer because I know Steve will answer. Well, you'll ask, won't you, Steve? Of course you will. Why did I put the goat pasture all the way over there and not closer? Very good question. I don't know. Why did I not do more than 40 animals? I could have got more milk per day and that is, of course, yeah. If I put 10 in, I'm going to get less milk per day. If I put 20, 30, 40, the more animals you've got, the more you're going to get, but the more feed they're going to need, etc., etc. Yes, I could have put 100 of each in. I could have. I don't know why I went with 40. I just did. There's not really any explanation for that. So let's go to our animals. Yeah, so our buffalo milk is showing 900. The other thing being as well, that when I set this all up in the first month and then went ahead a month, I don't think it was a full 24 hours. So we've got 900 litres now, so that's pretty good for our buffalo milk. If we go across to our 4,500 litres from our Holsteins, 4,500 litres from our brown Swiss, so exactly the same. Feed's gone down quite a lot, I'm going to have to feed them. And 958 from the goats. So as we've gone into the next month, we have got more out of them. But the goats, look, still haven't eaten anything. That's weird. I'm not saying that's going to work with every pen. That's not a glitch that I would imagine is going to remain. Because the game's out now, full release, and everybody, people are submitting bug reports and error reports and stuff left, right and centre. So I can imagine that Giants have been absolutely inundated with things that they need to adjust, tweak, change. So when this does get its first major update, things like this may well change. So at the time of recording, this is how it is. That's not to say it will stay like that. Will another pallet spawn in that space? I don't know. But what I'll do is show you now. If I take this to the bakery, I've probably got too much here, but that's alright. Narrow that in a little bit. I'll bring over the goat milk and I'll bring over the buffalo milk and we'll put it in here. And like I say, I'm not going to do any more normal milk because we've seen what we can do with that. And like I say, we know what the cheese situation is and chocolate and all that kind of thing. So I'm not going to run those. But pretty efficient as far as bottled milk goes. And I said this in the video as well. There should be a milk, like a milk float, milk delivery. You can actually load your milk bottles onto. That would be quite cool. If there's any modders out there that want to make a milk float, I mean the electric ones, they're not that slow. I suppose these days, because you've got electric vehicles, you could put get a Tesla motor, stick a Tesla motor in a milk float, speedy milk delivery. Why not? Has anyone done that yet? I haven't even looked online to see if that's a thing. So if I take this to the bakery now, it wouldn't take out loose milk, but it will take out bottled milk. Like I say, I've only got the small one here, but again, just a proof of concept. There you go, taking that straight off the top. But the other thing I haven't done, I mean the fact it's raining doesn't help, but let's jump out, go into that view so we can have a real good look. So look at our bottles, there we go. There's our bottles of cow milk. Very nice indeed. Right, let me go and move some of these others over. Let's get our buffalo milk in there. So with the rate these are producing and the recipes, with the goat, there you go, took all that. With the goat milk we've got already, we should get a couple of goat products out, and then it might be another month or so before we can have a look at our buffalo stuff, because if I'm going to do the mozzarella and the buffalo milk, I don't think I'll have enough of it just yet, but we won't be far off. So a full pallet of that will be 1,000 litres. You notice as well that it was still 6 churns on a pallet, but it was only 600 and something litres last time. If you look bottom right, it's showing 958, 95%. So a full one of these will be 1,000 litres. I'll see you in October, when hopefully there'll be no rain. It'll probably be a blizzard or something. Go. Do they spawn those other pallets? That's weird. That's... oh, what am I talking about? It's saying milk. Milk bottled is 234. I was reading 3,257 litres as milk bottled. That's the milk in there that needs to be produced. Milk bottled, there was only 234 litres left, so I won't get any more pallets, will I? So anyone that's already been screaming at the screen, sorry about that. There we go. And I'll get these being produced, and then we can have a look and see what our goat products and our buffalo products look like. We've already, like I say, we've already answered some questions in that the different breeds will produce different amounts with the same amount of animals, which is good to know. Increase your herd of water buffalo if you want to get some more stuff. Let's click on that. Go across. So buffalo milk bottled, buffalo mozzarella, there we go. I said this on the video when I did the greenhouses. I love the fact that when you click on them they light up. That's quite cool. That's fancy. Right. See you in October. Okay, it's October. The rain has stopped, although it looks like there's more rain coming. We might have an issue. Again, good reason for testing. It seems to me now we've hit a threshold. Our goats did a full 1,000 litres. I'm not going to bring any more over because we've got some goat products we're going to have a look at here. Our 40 water buffalo are producing 900 litres a day. I've got another 900 litres in here. It was 900 litres yesterday. So what I'm going to do to speed up the process for this, I'm going to add some more water buffalo in here so we can get some more in. So we can get some more in. So we can get some more buffalo milk. I did make some more Total Mix rations, so I have got some more feed in. I might have to make another load, but I'm going to put some more in, maybe fill the pen up completely so we can get some more, and I'll show you why. So here's the thing, right, and I showed this when I did my live stream. This is the goat cheese, and I am going to say it's now. The level of detail on that is staggeringly good. I mean, just brilliant. We come around to the end here. Look at that premium goat cheese. That looks incredible. This pallet here, if we come up close, bottom right it says goat milk bottled. Awesome. Until you get to the end of the pallet and have a look, because that doesn't say goat milk. That says cow milk. So, my question is, if you've gone to all the trouble of doing this, of having the extra products, of having a separate, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the whatchamacallit, the buffalo milk, whether that will say cow milk on it as well, because that's supposed to be a separate type of milk. I'm going to look in the prices menu in a moment. If you've gone to all this trouble to do this, why would you not just change that to say goat rather than cow? And we'll see when we get the buffalo as well. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but just personally I just think that's a thing. If we go to, and we come to this menu here, and we've got our prices. So if we come down to buffalo milk, wow, is selling at the moment 6,000 well, mid to high 6,000s for buffalo milk. Buffalo milk bottled, that makes no sense. So, I mean, obviously the time of year we're at, potentially. So buffalo milk, just as it is worth way more than bottled. So, that makes them, why would you bottle it then? Why bother going to the hassle of bottling buffalo milk? Buffalo mozzarella? Wowzers. 14,000s for buffalo mozzarella. So, well worth doing. So again, that's a curiosity. If it's going to come out on a pallet saying, and it's definitely a separate product, saying cow milk, we'll see. What else are we looking for? Gurts. We're looking for gurt milk. So, goat milk, separate to regular milk. So, goat milk, 5,427. Okay, we've got a pallet of it. That's worth it. Goat milk bottled. No. What? That should be the other way around, shouldn't it? If you've gone to the trouble of bottling it for distribution, it should be worth more than just the standard. Those are round the wrong way. They have to be round the wrong way. That makes no sense. Goat cheese, that's all right. Low to mid 3,000s, that's all right. I like that as a value. Actually, do we have cow milk? Did it show cow milk or just say regular milk? I'm assuming it would just be milk, will it? Yeah, there we go. So milk, 1,338. Milk bottled. Again, the bottled milk's worth less. That's very, very odd. Again, another reason to do the videos. Look in here and, you know, the sort of stuff you won't necessarily drill down on unless you're doing something specific like I'm doing on this video. And when you start looking at that, I can't get my head around that. That should be the other way around, shouldn't it? I'm sure people will be commenting, explaining exactly why it is the way it is. But for me, again, it comes down to that thing of, if you're playing in game, if you want to do an extra process and you want to bottle the stuff, I think it's really cool to have that as an option. And the fact the bakery will only take it bottled, that'll be a reason why you'll need to make it, because the bakery will only take it bottled. But if you're not going to run a bakery, why are you going to the hassle of doing any of these extra products? Why are you going to bottle your goat milk? Why are you going to bottle your buffalo milk and regular milk when in its liquid form, you know what I mean, it's worth more? I don't know, I'm just putting it out there. So these aren't liftable, none of the pallets are liftable until the modder Yoss gets on the case, and then potentially we'll get some liftable stuff. So what I'm going to do now, stop the engine, you know. I'm going to put this 900 litres in for today. I'm going to put some more buffalo in. Let's see if we can get some buffalo products out. Now I probably won't see you now until we've got some products out. Like I say, all I'm going to do is just increase the amount in there, probably put some more total mix ration in. Move those pallets out of the way so stuff can spawn. We've seen the goat stuff now. That's weird, very weird. I'm going to grab that pallet of goat milk and see whether it says goat milk when I lift it up. It could just be, for whatever reason, the pallet has spawned wrong. I don't know, I just find that curious. And it's a minor thing, because if I pick it up on here and it says goat milk, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, goat milk bottled. Just the pallet's not saying that. Like I say, I'm being picky, I know I am, but, you know, why would you not? Let's put these to one side. I can sell them. Farmers markets and stuff like that, we'll take them. You saw the prices menu. If you're not sure where and what places take them, look in your prices menu, look across the right hand side. For each product it will tell you all the sell points that take them, and you can take your products to those places. But again, I can't, yeah, why would you bother bottling? Anyway, see you when we've got some buffalo products. Okay, it's November. I filled up the buffalo pen. I bought the goat pen over here. I thought, you know, just have it a bit closer, makes more sense. So I filled up the buffalo pen. If we go to here, we have now got, how many in here? A few. So yeah, completely full. I filled up their total mix ration up to 66,000 litres, and they used half of it in a month. Oh, so something to bear in mind as well, they do get through a fair bit, but they did produce 2,388 litres of milk, which is great. So the problem I thought might be a problem, let's go to our torch. This one here, bottom right, says buffalo milk, bottled. What does it say on the end? Cow milk. So yeah, the milk, it is a separate type of milk. We've already seen that with the goat milk, but it is showing that one's a regular one. I left that running by accident. So it's just now some buffalo mozzarella left to get. We're up to 556 litres, so it might be a couple of months before we get any more, before we get some mozzarella. But we saw on the prices menu that's worth a fair bit. Other thing I was going to mention at this point, I mentioned on a few videos, just in case you haven't watched those videos, cool feature I really like on FS25, it's a little thing but a nice detail, is the difference in pallets. Everything's spawning on pallets. We've got a new fresh right out of the factory pallet. We've got ones that look like they've been used a little bit, and the ones that are almost greyed out. You can see they're like properly weathered, they've been out a while. So 3 different types of pallets that things can spawn automatically onto. I don't know, it's a small feature, but I like it. So I'll skip ahead and I will see you when we've got some mozzarella. We can have a look at that, see what that looks like, and that'll be our milkers complete. See you, I'm going to say January maybe, but we should be alright now as far as milk goes. Actually, might leave that where it is. Yeah. It's December and we've only gone and done it. Look again, look at the detail on that. Quality from Italy. I'm in Hutan Pantai, but maybe that's where the buffalo came from. Anyway, we've got our mozzarella. What's interesting as well, I was on 500 and something litres and it had taken a little while to get there. Once I went into the factory and I turned off the buffalo milk production, the buffalo mozzarella production seemed to ramp up, because I've got 1,000 litres there, and according to this, we go into here and we go to our buffalo mozzarella. It should be showing on the right hand column as well. Yeah, buffalo mozzarella, 516 litres. So we went from 500 and something litres and I thought, okay, well, it's going to take ages. It took a while to get there. Went from that to 1,000 litre pallet out already and another 516 litres. So it definitely sped up. But anyway, that's all of our products. We got our goat milk. We had our goat milk bottled, which turned out to be the same look as buffalo milk bottled, which same look as normal milk bottled. We've got our goat cheese and we've got our mozzarella. All of our products done, all of our animals done, and again, the obvious things still stand. The different feeds can be made in different ways, depends how you go about making your top mix ration. As we move forward, whether we get by anything, silos and those kind of things, if people decide to use those. I've done all of mine with bales. Obviously you can do it with loose product if you've got a hay loft, and if you've done a silage clamp you can do it with loose product. You can do it with self-propelled feed mixers, that kind of stuff. As you've seen with the meadows, the sheep and goats will take meadow grass and use that to get to 100% effectiveness and productivity, but that will run out at some point. So they will just take grass. You can give them hay, that's entirely up to how you go about it. You can mix your cows in the pens, so you can do your water buffalo and your Holsteins and your brown Swiss all in the same pen if you want to. And again, that obvious thing that I suppose I don't still need to state the obvious, but the more animals you've got, the more product you're going to end up getting. I mean, that's kind of the way it works. But there we go. That's all of our products. That's milking, milkers and onward milk products. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.